Well, greetings, Gran Turismo enjoyers, and since I have a lot of time to spare after my 2 race reviews, I decided that I would do another Gran Turismo 7 build. And yeah, this build is going to have some lore to it. Alrighty, so let's select my manufacturer. Nissan, since this is a Nissan. Yeah, I have a lot of Nissans. I actually bought some cars, some duplicate cars to use for future engine swap builds. Okay, so. Yeah, I do have 2 Nissan Skyline 2000 GTRs. And this is the one that I'm going to be using. The KPGC 110. Alrighty, so. If you want to replicate this build, here's what you have to do first. You want to go into GT Auto, go into Car Maintenance and Service. First, select the wide body, since it is supposed to be a hill climb monster. Then select Engine Swap. There you go. Yeah, it's the same engine from the Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette racing car, but in story, it's supposed to have an Offenhauser IndyCar engine. Yeah. Like, it is pretty hard to Offenhauser swap a car in real life. I'm sure it has been done, but it is pretty tricky since it is a race car engine. And a tailor-made race car engine at that, but if someone could fit in a Chevy IndyCar V8 inside of a Ferrari 458 Italia GT3, don't tell the Ferrari lawyers that, that's why they removed the badges, then I don't see why someone can't do the same in a old clanker and hot rod it with an Offenhauser engine. Yeah. We'll get to that part later. But for now, let's go to the tuning shop. Yeah, you want to make sure you have every weight reduction stage fitted. And for some weird reason, it reduces the PP. I have no idea why it does that. Yeah, and you want to basically get yourself increased body rigidity, since it is a race car. Yeah, make sure you have like racing brake pads and drilled racing discs. Yeah, racing suspension, brake balance controller, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable racing transmission, and racing softs. Okay, so you want to put on some inters and some heavyweights just in case. Yeah, and since this is a rally build, sort of a rally build, it's going to have dirt and snow tires. Okay, let's see if we got any more upgrades to get the fully customizable LSD, because we do need that. Alright. Make sure you want a high RPM turbocharger, since it is going to be a high revving beast. Well, the Offy engine's supposed to be high revving, because, well, it's an IndyCar engine. Hydraulic handbrake, steering angle adapter, no nitrous, but we do want a carbon propeller shaft, and there you go. So, I'll get the car done, and I will be posting the livery for it later, so let's get the hill climb monster ready. Well, here it is, the Offy-Powered Beast. And yeah, I used a setup that is based on one from Rocky 5516. I'll link you the setup in the description. So yeah, it is a pretty cool looking car, and it's got high downforce as well. It is a Pikes Peak racing car. It's supposed to have high downforce, although it is one that is made up as this car doesn't exist in real life. It's supposed to only exist in my headcanon. But anyways, let's test it out. Yeah, so here's the setup. Yeah, it's pretty much identical to Rocky's setup, except I didn't do manual gear adjustments. I heard that it's supposed to make the gear shifts faster, but I didn't see much of a difference though, aside from the Volkswagen Samba bus. So yeah, I'm going to test out this Offy-Powered Beast that nearly has 800 horsepower. Okay, so I'm going to take it to the Nürburgring test track. Well, it's not really a test track, it's the Nürburgring GP Streck. However you want to pronounce it. Here we go. See how well this car is. Yeah, it's got a lot of wheel spin. But it handles pretty well, though. It actually handles pretty well. It's a bit of oversteer. Although braking's not too shabby, but you can pretty much adjust the brake bias on the fly. I'm going to make some adjustments to the brake balance, aka brake bias. Yeah, as I said before, it's the same engine in the Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette, but in my headcanon it's supposed to be an Offenhauser IndyCar engine. You know, the ones that have the distinctive growl. You have to be careful as it produces a lot of wheel spin. Because, well, it has a lot of horsepower. Yeah, and horsepower won't fix wheel spin unless if that vehicle is all-wheel drive. Whoa, man. It's pretty hard to control. But what do you expect, though? That looks good. Alrighty, that's tarmac testing done. I'm gonna remove that record since it is irrelevant. to the actual testing. But we're going to test it on dirt. This is the first time we tested the car on dirt and snow. Alrighty, so we gotta pick a dirt track. Let's do Fisherman's Ranch, because why not? Yeah, we have to equip the car with dirt tires. Alrighty. Dirt. There. Now we can go in. Yeah, like, one thing I don't like about Gran Turismo is that it doesn't switch to dirt tires automatically. Yeah, Gran Turismo 4, it had it where it automatically switches to dirt or racing or sports depending on the regulations, or which track you're going into, but here it doesn't do that, and I have no idea why. Yeah, it's the only one of the LZ20B swaps that has dirt tires as an option. I was gonna go with the G-Ready Fugu Z, but it doesn't have, yeah, it can't be equipped with dirt tires. This car can. It would help if it had lower gearing for a rally setup, so that it could take on the dirt much smoother, but I wanted to test it as is. Since Pikes Peak cars are known to have long gearing, as they're pretty fast. Dirt testing. just like that. It did a near perfect dirt run. Yeah. Oops. Gonna try again. There. That is such a beautiful thumbnail. Oops. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, it's a Pikes Peak Rally monster. Oops, wrong button. Now let's test it out on snow. And we have to switch tires. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on Lake Louise. Yeah, I'm gonna use the tri-oval. Since it is a pretty good benchmark. Yeah, for the best experience on dirt and snow, I recommend short shifting. It's amazing what a two-wheel drive Pikes Peak car can do. There we go. It's pretty well on dirt and snow. Now, let's hand it over to our test driver. Some say that aside from her being a race car driver, she had once trained with La Tormenta and became a professional wrestler. But all we know is, she's called Bobby Fletcher. And here we go. Yeah, this is the first time that we tested a sub 700 pp build in this video series. Yeah, Bobby Fletcher seems to be doing pretty well so far. Well, she has known to consistently well in the number 88. Well, the number 88 in the Loud House world at least. So, She knows what she's doing. Here we go. Yeah, try not to brake late. Yeah, as you can easily brake late with this car. And let's adjust the brake bias, aka brake balance. Yeah, doing pretty well. Yeah, it is a Pikes Peak car, so it has high downforce. Here we go. Yeah, there's a bit of wiggle there. Go. Yeah, keep in mind, because this is an old car, it doesn't have a lot of traction. Yeah, again, there's a bit of wiggle there. But she manages to masterfully control it, as it does handle pretty good. Yeah, some wheel spin. And oh, but there's oversteer. There's a bit of oversteer there. The kink. Yeah, bit of wheel hop at the chicane. And into the final corner. Here we go. And across the line! Now, let's see where that puts this Datsun on the leaderboard. So far, it's the fastest build in the series, and it has a time of 2:07.582. And it's also the first sub 700 pp build that we've tested. So yeah, it currently leads the sub 700 pp category. But anyways, on to the top speed run. Now, let's give it the good old top speed run. Going over to Special Stage Route X. Here we go. That's pretty fast. Although we might need to adjust the gearing. This is for top speed testing only. Yeah, so I'm going to make different settings. Default settings, which is the settings that is usually optimized for race well, for any races, and top speed. Oh, good guys. Yeah, its top speed is 227 miles per hour because there's drag limit in it. Yeah, top speed, 229 miles per hour. See how well it can handle the corner. Good golly, I missed the top. I missed the machine test. Yeah, it's kind of drag limited, as it does have a big wing. Yeah. So yeah, top speed 221 miles per hour. It is pretty fast, but how fast is it against, well, Le Mans 700? Well, let's find out. Yeah, we're only going to do one lap and call it a day. Alrighty, here we go. Yeah. It does handle pretty good. It's easily one of the better sub 700 PP builds that I made. Yeah, thanks to adjusting the brake balance, aka brake bias, it actually brakes pretty well once you know what you're doing. Yeah, if you brake too late, you're gonna go into the same issue. Does pretty well at Le Mans 700. Although, you do have to be careful of when to brake. Yeah, it's just a test run. Yeah, I broke a little too late there. Just realized I accidentally used the top speed setup when I was supposed to use the, well, default settings. No matter, since it is still pretty fast. And it's fuel efficient. Got 2.5 laps in this thing. Although not nearly as fuel efficient as the Escudo swap that, well, became a thing. And look at that, I'm already in 3rd place. There's a lot of wheel spin, but you can get used to it. I am going to plan to make a 700 pp race replay with this car. Since I do believe it is pretty good at the World Touring Car 700 at Le Mans. Very fast in the straights, and just as fast in the corners. Although, make sure you get rain tires, because it is going to be wet. I also see that it has pretty good tire wear because, well, 2 laps in, and the tires don't seem to be wearing down a lot. There we go. Second place. And now we're in the lead. Alrighty, that's that. You know the drill by now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case you haven't already done so, and so that you can catch up on the latest Racer Cinema Productions videos. Catch you guys next time, and peace out!